Okay, good morning. Let's talk a little bit about YBIT and BITO. I'm breaking it up separately. I broke up Coney because of its great earnings, and I'll do a separate one in a few minutes after I finish YBIT for Misty. Um, so generally good in the BTC space. We're doing some recovery. I went through some news on Coinbase, but let's take a look here at a 5-day chart on BTC. So you can see between the dashed lines that we traded up yesterday, and then after hours we got up to about 60,500. So this is really kind of the support system. This has been the resistance, and that broke down through it and came back up to it. Here we are, some 3 hours before the market open in the pre-market now at 59.7. So if we get back into the 60 zone, I think we'll trade pretty well, because we really didn't want to go down to 52,000. We tended to bottom out at 57. So, support and resistance are what they are. So all that says is the probabilities to maintain 60 to 67 become greater if we have another close over 60,000, right? So it could be a false breakdown, right, through the lower resistance, and we need to climb back into that previous channel. So let's look what happened on the day. So jumping into BITO, it closed at 24.13, so it was up 4.64%, which was a nice trading day for it. Our corresponding YBIT, the new fund, closed at 1886, up from 1830. So it had 3/4 of the movement, 70% or so. So what did we do in terms of trades? The share count stayed the same as an FYI. However, they still had some funds to deploy. So they went out to their synthetic, right? For those of you that are understanding how Yieldmax does their long stock mimicking, right? So they're mimicking BITO by doing a long stock, which is buy a call, sell a put, and then separately for additional income, they sell a naked call. So a lot of times they do these in 3 trades. That's exactly what happened here. So the 5/17 date is your 29. Okay, your 29, buy a call. And since we're so far out of the money and trading at 24, it's only 14 cents, right? Because there's 11 trading days left, and you're $5, almost $5 underneath. And you're able to sell the put for $5.02. There's a little bit of time premium in there. And then we separately went out for next week. With one trading day, they weren't going to put on a 503 expiration, just the naked call or sell short calls without owning the underlying. So they sold 90 of those for 42 cents. So let me show you that's impact. So here we are on 5/2, and we sold 90 at 42 cents at a strike price of 25. So break even is 25.42. And out of the money, that's a little nervous. And 3.61% on a crypto with 6 trading days, that makes me nervous. But, BTC has been trending down, BITO has been trending down. But if it turns, right? But then anytime we run up and don't allow the weekly to capture all of its income, then the synthetic does well. And we end up making money on the synthetic, which, so let me finish this and I'll show you the synthetic portion of that. So we picked up another 3,780, small money because 90 contracts, right? So our running total is up to 129, share count's the same, and you see a little bit money that's added, right? And that's a function of this and the synthetic, right? That's where that came from. So let's go take a look at the synthetic. Here's our synthetic, 90 contracts. Okay, we sold the call, sorry, we bought the call, only cost us $1,200, but we sold the put for $45,000, right? So we collected more money. That's piggy bank money. It's in the bank, okay? Now, the determination becomes on 517, right? Right down here. So we're now trading, this needs to be updated. Okay, we're now trading at 24.13, right? And this trade was up. So we're still 16% below our $29 strike price, but we've got 11 trading days. And also by moving up some, we successfully lowered our 1.1 something down to roughly a million, right? So that's still a book loss and a liability if we don't go up. But right now we're looking better. So you saw the synthetic now, you understand that. And when I go to payment, you'll see those values. So let's finish on April. Let's look at the weekly, because the weekly shows us everything we have, right? So the idea in the YieldMax funds is the weeklies generate the cash flow to pay the dividend, because they reset once a week. You either win or lose, and you keep writing more weeklies, right? So you tend to write those out of the money between 5 and 15%. And in these crypto-oriented ones, sometimes they'll go 20%. It all depends on if you're in a bullish up cycle or you're in a short-term negative down cycle. So look at these strike prices, right? The majority of all of these 5-3 ones, they're 9.82% out of the money, right? But look at the big ones, the 1,050 and the 720. They're 16 and 18. That's one day. So unless you expect, BTC and hence BITO closing greater than 28, we don't get hurt at right up to 28. We only start to lose some of that revenue afterwards. And same thing with this one at 28.50. If it ran to 27, we'd lose a little bit of revenue we collected here, but our synthetic would make a lot of income. I did not update this chart, but you can see we closed at 24.13. So this line, actually, I may have. So the volume breakout was not really there. Let's see what Bitcoin does. I showed you on the Bitcoin active chart, right? We're probably, what am I showing on BITO? Let's take a look at that. Okay, so here's BITO in the pre-market, again on a 5-day. This is yesterday's trading in black, and this is the aftermarket and pre-market, right? The dotted line here constitutes changing of the day. So we're some 3 hours before the open. So you can see that we're trading at 24.12. So by 24.15. So pretty much where we were at the close. So not a lot of information there, but a nice day. Implied volatility went up, and that helps create the premium. So let's go out and look at our holdings. All right, so this got better, right? Because this value increased. We added the 90, right, to our 1900 and, whatever it was, 1995 yesterday, I think, to get us to 2070. So this is the one we want to eliminate. We want to eliminate this by getting up to 29 on 517. All right, these all look good. Going back to April, what are we going to collect, right? Well, we're going to collect the 35,000, the 47,000, and the 4,600. And when I say collect, we've been paid those, but we want to buy them back today toward the end of the day for a penny or two, right? Their value right now, that's all they're worth, 1-2 cents, right? So we want to keep all that money that we're showing in the piggy bank, even though this one still has 6 trading days, right, that expires. But it's not the same amount of money. You really want to reel in this 72,000, especially on 275,000 shares. All right, so let's jump over. The only other thing I tend to do is I go out on ProShares and I look. And since we moved up, all we did was trade out 85 futures of our June, right? And so the values have all gone up. So BITO is doing well. For those of you that actually own it, I'm sure you were thrilled like I do at the $1.48. So they declared yesterday, they happened to pay on May 8th, which is the same day that you all normally would be paid in YBIT. But since YBIT is a brand new fund, we won't see it until June. I say that and I'll watch them come out and say they're going to pay 30 or 40 cents and shock the world and shock me, but I don't think so. We'll find out at 8:30 Eastern time today, but don't, it's less than 0.1%. So let's go to payment. Let's talk about it. I'm ecstatic because look at this information. I want you guys to just understand. So here's the trading days, right? It opened on 4/23. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trading days, right? So if we declare on June 3rd, we're going to have, 30 trading days. We're going to have a pretty large amount of trading days. We're going to have 4 times this type of income, right? So where are we leading into that? So we're sitting here on 275,000 shares. So remember BITO. And BITO, the people love it. It's a good fund, but I have a feeling that YBIT is going to pay more money. So BITO is what, $24? And it paid $1.48. Well, in 7 trading days, this fund is collected 47 cents. That's what they use to the payout determination. And then, even though these are negative, that's positive, debits and credits and accounting. So we have another $1.77 we've been paid on our synthetics. Now, we have a paper lost and some other, but that doesn't stop you from getting the money up front. So there would be a 47 and probably 50 cents from here. You probably would have $1 payout right now based on 7 trading days. So all I want to say is YBIT is a yield max, and when you get in the right fund, this is a bet on long BTC. So if you're negative BTC, don't chase YBIT yield. And why has YBIT gone down, right? They all start at 20. I think its high was 22. Yeah, 22 intraday, and its low is 1796, right? So guys that bought it at 20 and a half or 21 are saying, hey, I'm down 18%, I'm down 15%. But when you start getting paid $1.50, so know what you own, right? Know that when you get paid, it opens the next day minus that dividend amount you're paid on payday. But then it trades, right? It doesn't necessarily stay down. So if you're bullish BTC and you're following me, then likely you like YBIT, right? But understand what you own. BTC has been trending down after running just excessively, right? It should move again. You just have to understand the cycles and trust that if you believe there's digital money and irrefutable ledger and all the things that BTC offers. Now, I'm not talking about meme coins and I'm not talking about all the other stuff. I'm talking about the leader, right? Bitcoin. So that's all I wanted to say. Understand what you own. But if you need income and you want something that you're medium-term bullish and long-term bullish, then by all means, I think this belongs in a portfolio, right? So you could have some BIT 02 and see how they perform because you got a longer track record there. All right, so that ends it. I'm going to do my Misty separate for those of you that are looking for Misty. Hey, have a great one. Again, this is Bruce from Targeted Wealth Creation. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Okay, it's for fun and education. See ya. Bye.